Alright, what is up everyone? Conixis here, and welcome back to Sunrider Liberation Day Captain's Edition, and what is this? Return mode! Anyways, so as you remember last time, we are on the quest to stop myself and Chigara from destroying the future, thus in turn destroying our future in this world as well. So, there's a bunch of fuckery. So basically what happened last time is me and Claude came back from the past, and Claude brought me here in order to save the day from the massacre that is to come. But in order to do that, we must stop Chigara from neural linking with the other prototypes in, like, I think it's at 10 hours and 43 minutes. So we got limited time now, people. But yes, we're supposed to stop Chigara, and we got captured last time because I was stupid and I went on camera and saved the crewmen, but at the same time, I did a good thing. But Ava believed us because she looked at Claude's holo, so if we didn't look at her holo, or if we didn't steal her holo, we probably would have been fucked. Probably would have hit a bad end. I don't know. But anyways, I knew my girl Ava was smart. She knew it. My God, that's why Ava's just great. Anyways, let's continue on and see if we're near the end or if we still got a bit more to go. He entered Life Pod 15, as told by Ava, and found her and Asaga waiting inside. Oh, nice.
Captain! I nearly died of a heart attack when those muscleheads dragged you away like that. I would have gone full Char mode on them if it weren't for the commander. And geez, just what the hell's up with the other captain anyway? Is he stupid or something? I can't believe he just locked you up in the brig and completely ignored everything you said.
No, Asaga, he's, just in love. And that's making him blind.
Whatever. I'm only gonna like you from now on. The other captain can go screw himself. Hell yeah! Fuck the other me! Fuck the me in the past! Me in the future's here to stay! We need that fucking meme. With Asaga, I ended my friendship with past Kato. Future Kato's my best friend. Damn it. Anyways, whatever. Yeah, screw himself. Once this is all over, I think you should throw him in the brig and throw the keys away just to teach him a lesson.
I won't be able to. I'll cease to exist once this is all over. Shield shook his head but laughed in spite of himself at Asaga's antics. Oh, look at that! Claude's back. Just then, a certain pink-haired ditz poked her head out from the front of the escape pod as well.
Looks like you made it out of the brig alive, Captain.
Claude! Damn it, just where'd you vanish to?
Remember, I can't be put into a situation where I'll be forced to use my powers. When the Marines appeared, I activated my convenient cloaking device and temporarily fell back. It's more fun for me if you figure things out for yourself, Captain. Also, safer for the space-time continuum, too. Please treat me like a normal girl. Using my powers to get out of this mess is strictly forbidden.
Damn it, Claude! I bet she had some trick up her sleeve which would let us avert the massacre here and now. But I guess she has a point. Using her powers is outright dangerous, considering what we've learned about the law of causality. For now, we're stuck with what Claude can accomplish without time powers. Now that they were safely hidden away from the ship's various security features, Ava finally managed to relax. They sat down alongside each other inside the pod. Thanks for busting me out of the brig. Wait, what? Thanks for busting me out of the brig. Still dots. Okay, I thought I went back for a second. You're really Kato, aren't you? That I am. I'm afraid I'm the same Kato Shield who succumbed to the entire swimming pool with you during the Advanced Academy because all the other members of the Student Council quit. Then what you were saying about the future is indeed the truth. I'm afraid so. Have disobeyed a direct order from my superior officer by bringing you here. If I am caught, I expect I will be stripped of my rank and confined in the brig myself. But the threat the Liberation Day massacre presents to the safety of Sarah, no. The safety of the galaxy is so grave that I can no longer, in good conscience, follow the other Captain Shields down this path. The evidence inside the holo proves without question that our chief is the prototype. We must detain her. Asaga has filled me in about the details of the situation. You must know this timeline better than anyone else, Kato. What are our options? Shields racked his brain for ideas. First things first, we have to warn Fontana about the virus before putting Chigara out of commission. I could still sneak into my office to send the message, but now that the ship's on high alert, that's going to be nowhere near as easy as before. Judging from the fact that my security clearance has not been revoked yet, it appears that nobody has realized that I have set you free. Yeah, nobody has realized that I've set you free. I could simply try issuing an order to security to distract them. As for capturing Chigara, I'm almost out of options now that the prior kidnapping was a bust. Yeah, I could try convincing my other self that Chigara is a prototype and get him to detain her, but that's a total long shot at this point. Come to think of it, when Chigara enters the mind stream, Asaga goes berserk and nearly kills her in my timeline. But, seeing how Asaga is now standing here right in front of me, it looks like I'm not going to be able to repeat my timeline versions of events. I could somehow get Asaga on the blackjack and take the Liberty out? No, I can't risk Asaga like that. My past self was willing to kill her to protect Chigara, and I doubt the situation's changed. In the end, it all comes down to convincing my other self to detain Chigara. We don't have a choice. We're going to have to convince the captain of this ship that Chigara is a spy. In other words, my past self.
Alright, I'll do my best to help.
Understood. Convincing Captain to change his mind will be difficult. I hope you're prepared, Kato. I know. But I know him better than anyone because, he's me. First, though, we'll have to send Fontana the FTL message ASAP so that his ships are ready to fight with us without Chigara's help. Come on, let's go. Oh god. The trio climbed out of the service tunnel and dropped down the near captain's office. As expected, a pair of Marines stood in front of their destination, rifles held at the ready. We're going to have to figure a way to get them out of there. It won't be long now until they figure out you've escaped. For now, I can do this. Hiro pulled out her holo and used the command credentials to create a false sighting of intruders in the sickbay. The guards immediately heard the alert and ran opposite down the hall. Ah, nice. I guess it pays to have Commander on your side. Yeah, let's move. Shields breathed in relief as he entered his office. But just because I'm home doesn't mean I can afford to relax. He ran to his desk and activated the FTL comm. He put in a request to contact Fontana on board packed assault carrier Vice Victus. Transmission kept beeping, waiting for a response. Shields tapped his desk in impatience as the beeps continued. Come on, you bastard, pretty boy! What the hell are you doing? Pick up the damn phone! Shields' chest filled as if it was going to burst as if the transmission kept beeping. What the hell's taking so long, Fontana? Taking a bath? Preening in front of your mirror? What? Don't tell me it takes a full hour for you to get dressed and groomed for a goddamn phone call! You goddamn girly boy bastard! God damn it! Oh god. I think the yelling added perfectly to it because Shields clearly hates him. Just as Shields uttered those words, Fontana's face appeared above his desk, or maybe more, just before he uttered those words. Fontana stared at Shields with a decidedly annoyed look on his face. He then cut the transmission. Shit! He fiercely tapped the button. God fucking damn it, Kato, you fucking idiot! Oh god, you fucking idiot! Shields furiously tapped the button to rescind the transmission. Finally, Fontana appeared once more. What is it, Shields? No, he has a deep voice. I can't give him the Kato's scream. What is it, Shields? Surely you did not call me in the depth of the night to merely comment about my face. No! Listen to me, Fontana. This is goddamn important. Your ships have been... Instead, he heard the ship to his office open. A lone Marine wandered in. Shit! Fontana, duck! What? Shields and his co-conspirators all died behind the desk. Fontana instinctively ducked down as well, upon seeing everyone react the same way. Fontana and Shields grimaced when they realized they were practically sitting on top of each other. Fontana's hologram partially merged with Shields. Ava couldn't help but notice their compromising position. Oh, are we in like a kind of fucking position? Are you making a... Shh! Quiet! Listen to your Listen, your ships have been hacked by a prototype virus. Tomorrow they'll use it to assume full control of your ships and attack the Combined Fleet. You have to do everything in your power to undo the virus. What? Shields, if you speak these words in jest. I'm not joking, but I got to go. Do it or else we're all going to die tomorrow. With that, Shields cut the transmission. Oh, that went about as bad as it could possibly. Let's hope he doesn't just brush it off as a joke. No man like Fantano would be too careful just to blow off a warning like that. Hato, one bogey coming our way. Just one? I think we can take him. Just me and Ava. Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3! The two of them leaped over the desk at the same time, sending a pile of unfinished paperwork into the air. Unfortunately, a rogue sheet of paperwork landed right in front of Shield's face and obscured his vision. Shit! The Marine tossed Ava aside and raised his rifle simultaneously as Shields tore the sheet of paper from his face and lunged for him. They collided and fell to the floor. Shields immediately put his hand over the Marine's mouth and tried to strangle him. Unfortunately, with a swift knee to the Shield's gut, the Marine managed to regain the upper hand. Just as the Marine raised his gun to finish off Shields, Asaga appeared behind the Marine and smashed his head in with Shields' prized teapot. Gah! Gah! He cringed, expecting his prize heirloom to now be in a million pieces. To his utter surprise, the teapot remained completely unharmed, and judging from the unconscious Marine, it apparently hit harder than reinforced steel. Wait a minute, Chigara reinforced the pot for me? Damn, that girl really must have done something incredible to make it, credible to it, for it to still be in one piece after being smashed up against someone's skull like that. I wonder if it's pretty much indestructible. Shields took the teapot away from Asaga and returned it to his shelf. Be careful with that. Eva looked around in dismay at the mountain of paperwork now scattered around Shields' desk. Get that look off your face. I came this close today to being killed thanks to that paperwork. See, I told you this stuff was deadly. Only because you allow it to accumulate. Oh, come on, we have bigger things to worry about. They ran out of the office before any more Marines could show up. Oh, hi there. However, as soon as they left Shield's office, the trio came face to face with a squad of Marines. Shit! Freeze! Completely outnumbered and surrounded by rifles, Shields had no choice but to put his hands on top of his head. It's not quite what I was hoping for, but we could actually use this to our advantage. He faced his companions and found that Claude had once again vanished into thin air. Looks like Claude decided to hide for now. He motioned for Asaga to follow his lead and slowly put her hands on top of her head as well. Alright, we surrender. But I'm willing to talk. Take me to your leader. No need. The other Shields emerged from behind. Getting messages. Anyways, the other Shields emerged from behind the squad of Marines. You've got some guts breaking into my office. What are you trying to pull there? I just saved your ass by warning Fontana that the prototype sabotages ships. You'll thank me for it later. Captain, he is telling the truth. I saw him contact Fontana with my own eyes. Commander, you violated direct order by setting the imposter free, and worse, I see you have actively helping him sow the dissension on board the ship. Have you lost your damn mind? No. Lately, I feared you have been acting strange. What? Sir, I do not know what words the chief used to sway you, but you have to put the ship's risk at, you have to put the ship at risk by putting your blind faith in her. I implore you that you examine all evidence at hand and detain the chief until this matter has been fully investigated. The other Shield's face contorted in rage. You turned my own XO against me? After all we've been through, you trust a prototype spy over me? Sadly, I was about to say the same. Ex-Commander Crescentia, I'm relieving you of your command. You are to be confined to the quarters until the battle is over so that you can be tried for insubordination. As for you, Prototype, the brig! Hey, Captain, just wait a minute here. Your other version and the commander have been working all this time to save the ship. You're acting real stupid right now.
And I don't know you anymore. I can't believe I actually liked you at one point. It's over between us. I'll just stick with the other captain. You too, Asaga? It's useless. He's fallen completely under the control of the prototypes. Asaga's right. It's do or die time. Shield slowly lowered his hands from his head to the sound of the Marines locking their loaded rifles. Shields, how about we settle this man to man? I'm you, you're me. Believe me, I've stood in your shoes before. I was so damn cocky that I couldn't see the truth dangling right in front of my eyes. Marines, hold your fire! Oh shit, we about to fight?! The other shields marched up to his mirror image. They stood face to face. Alright, I'll bite. If you really are me, you should know all that Chigara has done for us. She has hundreds of opportunities to kill us before, and yet each time she has defended this ship. To question her now would be tantamount to betraying my family. That's because she's a sleeper spy. Right now, all she's doing is winning your influence, but when the time comes, she'll lose control of her body and destroy all that you've worked for. If so, what would you have me do? Kill her? Imprison her for life? Protect her from being controlled by the prototypes? This is for Chigara's sake as well as for the lives of everyone on board this ship, and the billions who will be saved if this war ends now. You don't know my future. You don't know what my future's like. If you think you're protecting Chigara right now, you're gonna be in a hell of a shock. You've got to do this for her. All lies! Chigara will save us. She's all that matters. I won't betray her. She is everything. The other shields grabbed by the scuff of the collar, staring deep within his past self's eyes. Shields only saw a massive empty void as deep as the darkest trench. All I need is her. Shields struggled against the other self's grip as he raved with madness. You've been corrupted. Eva was right. This version of myself has become a slave to the prototypes. At this rate, reasoning with him is completely useless. What has Chigara done to him? Marines, hold your fire. I'm taking command of this situation. The captain has gone insane. The Marines looked around in a panic at a loss of what to do. On one hand, the captain of the ship had just relieved the commander of her authority, but it was clear from his mad raving that the captain was no longer fit to lead them. You moron! Shields clenched his teeth. Wake up! Oh, hell yeah, I punched myself. Shields shoved his past self away. Oh, we gotta screenshot that. I just like socked myself dead in the face. Fucking hell. Clear clock to the face. Hell yeah. Shields shoved his past self away and delivered a mighty punch to his other version's kisser. The other Shield fell flat on his back against the floor. Shield stood over him and bellowed. He bellowed the truth which only knew, for he was not speaking to an adversary or a prototype puppet. He was speaking to himself. This isn't about Chigara. This was never about her. All of this is to exorcise the ghost which haunts you by your bedside every night. The ghost of the one person you regret failing the most. I know. I tried to move on by finding a new future, a future far from war, surrounded by my children, but all of that was a lie, a deception used by the enemy to control me. Nothing I do will ever return Mirai to me, nor will it absolve me of the crime of abandoning millions to die that day. But such is war. In war, scars are open, scars which may never close, scars which we must wear for the remainder of our lives. But I'll be damned if I let more of my crew die because I could not face the truth. The dead are gone. Some battles end in nothing but defeat. It's time for you to face the truth. Both eyes open! Tears ran from both their eyes. Those were the words both men lived by. No matter the torment, no matter the comforts from Chigara may offer, Kato Shields would not close his eyes to the galaxy he needed to defend. His other self's face returned to normal. Commander, revoke the Chief Engineer's security access, and have her detained. Attention! Hell yeah! We got myself on my team! The tension finally deflated. The Marines put down the rifles, all parties exhaling in relief. Sir! The ghosts which spawned from the
wretched day will never leave my side. All the more reason she should not gain new friends in the afterlife. With that, the other Kato Shield stood up and straightened him uniformed. I'm conveying an emergency staff meeting. We have to devise a new battle plan without Shigara's participation. Commander, get the lieutenant. As for my other self, I'm sure his hindsight will be most valuable in the coming battle. After all, he's at least as smart as I am. Despite the two men being at each other's throats a second ago, Shields could not help but chuckle at his own joke. Oh boy, we're all friends. Kinda. Shields collapsed in an empty bunk after the end of the staff meeting. He had told his future self everything he knew of the enemy's capabilities, while Fontana informed them that his best minds were working around the clock restoring controls of the ships. However, it would be another 2 hours before the fixes were completed. Shigar was safely detained in the brig so far, so there were no signs of a prototype leader assuming control over her. In other words, Shields had done everything he possibly could to avert the Liberation Day massacre. Now all that remained was to wait and see if his efforts bore fruit. He realized that he had not slept for over 24 hours after a long mission of crawling through the maintenance tunnels and narrowly escaping death on multiple occasions, and his body was exhausted. The danger is not yet past, but from this point on, the future is the hands of the ship's crew. Everyone do your best. Door open, interrupting Shield's thoughts.
So there you are, Captain.
Shields faced Asaga leaning up against the head of his bunk. Something the matter, Asaga?
Nah, for once things seem to be going pretty good.
Asaga plopped down beside him.
I don't know what happened in your timeline, but I get the feeling that things turned out better this time around. So, what exactly did happen anyways?
Bad things. Shields didn't particularly want to sour the mood with his dark recollections. None of that exists anymore. If we're hypothetically writing the Sunrider down space-time, I'd say our course has been so thoroughly diverted that we jumped through entirely different systems now. Well, I guess that's just a roundabout way of saying I don't feel like recounting what happened. Those are events which I never want to live through again.
I see. Sorry, I didn't mean...
Don't worry. With these hands, I've changed the course of history. Makes me pretty full of myself right now, I guess. I don't want to ruin my good mood. Even in my version of events, you never gave up, Asaga. You saved my life. I'm only here right now because of you. Of course, none of that has happened to you standing here right now, or there right now, but... Thanks for always having my back. No matter what timeline I end up in, you'll always be my ace. With a laugh, Shields gave the top of Asaga's head a rub down.
Treat me like...
Cag? You're Cag? What the hell is that?
You're Cag like some kid? You got some nerve, Captain.
I'm afraid I'm not the captain of this ship right now. Just a surprise guest. Asaga fell to her side beside him, resting her head on his chest.
Then it won't be a problem if I do this.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I completely forgot that this is like, you know, kind of side story, so anything can happen. Oh boy.
Ever since...
Oh no, I guess she just lit... Oh, never mind. I read that line and that... Nope, no, I thought... I was about to say, oh, never mind. She's just laying her head on me. But then I just read the line in my head and... Oh, boy.
Well, ever since you rescued me from the fake marriage at Ruvia Prime, my body gets so hot whenever I think about you. Well, it's unfair. You've probably done it already with a bunch of women, haven't you? That's the only reason why you can stay calm like this. Tell the truth, you're actually quite the player, aren't you?
Player? Well, technically I've done Eva and Shigara in my current state.
So how many different women have you already done it with?
You know, you're not supposed to ask stuff like that. I keep forgetting this girl has one hell of a strong jealous streak.
I want to know!
Asuka pounded her fist against Shield's chest.
You've already done it with the commander, haven't you? Ah, I knew it! It was obvious from when she was drunk at the beach, and probably even Chigara, haven't you? Asaga, please! That was all in the past! So it's true! You beast, even Chigara, I can't believe you! Look, that hasn't even happened in this timeline, so you can hardly even count that against me. And to think I haven't even made out with anyone yet. Well, I guess I tried I'm sorry, what? Hold on a minute. Is this development of a... I mean, I see the second line, so I know it's all for naught, but that first line, though, interesting development. Anyways, well, I guess I tried practicing with Chigara a few years back, but, all that proved was that we don't swing that way. God damn it. Perfect. Best line in this fucking game next to Akari's Cat Cafe. Oi, don't tell me you've never... Isn't it obvious? I'm flippin' royalty, you know? What do you think the royal family of Ruvia would just let any schmuck deflower the crown princess? Oh, Captain, I don't like ya. Asaga stood back and only to bang her head to the top of the dam. Ah, that hurts! It hurts! Are you alright? No, I'm not alright at all! Ugh. My heart's pounding so crazy that I'm about to go full Char mode, and you don't want to see what I'll be like then. Probably not. Shields laid Asaga down on top of him and stroked her head. There. Sorry. I won't look at other girls from now on. Especially prototype spies. Lesson learned there. Good. Music's a little intense for what's happening. It should be more calming. Asaga's body was buried with heat. Burning with heat, my bad. She wrapped her arms around Shield's neck and pressed her lips to his. He stroked the back of her head, and as Asaga scent enveloped him, Shields forced Asaga's mouth open and sampled the taste of her tongue. Slightly sweet, but the taste was too distant. They wanted to get closer, for something more intense. Well... I mean, it's not the beginning of the episode, so it's not... It's still like, why, but... I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm fine. It's just censoring his... anyways, their tongues intertwined. Asaga repositioned herself, her legs straddling his waist. And the kiss for as long as Asaga could hold her breath. She attached, gasping for air. You can breathe through your nose, you know. Oh, shut up! This was my first time. I don't know what I'm doing. Things aren't looking so well down there. Okay! Guess we're gonna call it an episode. Thank you all for watching. Oh, god damn it! This thing is coming out strong with these lines. My god! Anyways, Shields raised her skirt, revealing her soaking wet panties. Holy shit. Yeah! It practically looks like she wet herself. Fucking hell. Let's see here. Her juices had seeped through her panties and formed a big dark circle on his trousers. He reached in and sampled some with his fingers. Judging from the sticky and slippery feeling between his fingers, he definitely knew that all of it was her juices, and she had not had an unfortunate accident. God damn it, you made so much. I can't help it. I've been waiting for this forever. What do you expect? Oh, God. Asaga, language. Fucking hell. God damn it. I know, I swear, but just saying words like that out the blue, it's just like, whew. Even I keep it somewhat PG for, like, that kind of stuff. I just say the puss, like, oh boy.
Didn't think I'd be saying this anytime soon, but I can't help it. I've been waiting forever. What do you expect? My turned into a giant swimming pool whenever I think about doing this. That's a fucking comparison, but okay. Let's roll with it. I can't even think straight no more. We're finally gonna fuck. Just so out there, Asaga. Language. Holy room. Language! Asaga! I live with people. Like language, Asaga, my lord. Okay. Let's just say this like straight up with fucking my chest. Let's say this with like no fucking giggling. Let's just say it straight through. Asaga voice, 100%. I can't even think straight no more. We're finally gonna fuck. Holy Ruvia, my puss's gonna get stretched. I can't say that with a straight face. Dear Emperor in Heaven, your daughter is about to become a woman. What the fuck? I fucking can't, man. She just put his finger in Asaga's mouth. I don't think all those words are necessary. Yeah, you're right. Well, I'm nervous. This is a big moment, you know. You look more than ready down there. Here we go. He raised her legs and slipped off her panties, thick strings of juice stretching from the cloth to her glory hole. Unfortunately, the bunk was too short for him to position himself for penetration. Ah, shit. This is the problem. Hang on, let me... Shield stood and went over to a nearby panel. He opened and pressed a button. Everything in the room began to levitate as the artificial gravity deactivated. What are you... Bunk's too small. We're doing it like this. Zero gravity sex! Oh yeah! Oh boy! Fucking hell! Shields pulled Asaga from the bunk and wrapped her legs around his waist as the two of them floated through the room. Just imagine someone walking in and you're just floating having sex, just naturally doing that. Anyways, goddammit. Did I read that? Yeah. Oh! Doing it for the first time like this. The captain's sure bold. Put your arms around my neck. He pulled his pants down and raised Asaga up by her plump ass. Plump. That's what I like to hear. Fucking hell, mate. I can't with this game. Try to relax yourself. It's gonna be pretty tight fit. Roger. Asaga looked up nervously as the two of them slowly initiated docking procedures. Thanks to her body's overabundant production of lubricant, it seemed as if... I mean, you say that, but it doesn't really look that like, you know, sopping down there. I mean, there's some, but not a lot. It's not even really, like, you have to look close to notice it. It looks more like sweat. I mean, I'm just making inferences here. Anyways, it seemed as if Asuka's first time would have been relatively painless. Alright, here goes. He slowly slid in her entrance stretching to accommodate his girth. Does it hurt too bad? Nah, feels fine. Pretty good, actually. His fingers dug into her ample ass and slowly rocked Asaga against his rod. See, like, I can read that fine, but it's like when Asuka's like raving about her fucking pussy. God damn it. I'm gonna have to censor that word. That word's a bit too foul for this. Swear word's fine, but body, oh no, that's too much. Anyways, he dug his finger. Yeah, I read that. It's happening, Captain's Pinga inside. Oh god, makes me feel real good. No, make me feel real good, Kay. God damn it. Accepting her invitation, he gave her rear a good slap and speared her virgin flesh as deeply as he could reach. Oh, there's the tits. The Asaga head has probably gotten bigger, or it's probably already been that big. Anyways, he stripped off her clothes in a rush. Her twin tails floated about as the two slowly revolved in midair. Asaga's fluid soaked his loins and dripped off, floating strings around them. That's hot? Question mark? I don't know.
He pounded Asaga against him, her entryway. I was going to say his, about to say, wait a minute. Her entryway slapping against his pelvis. Asaga's fingers dug into his neck as her muscles untensed, sending forth another tidal wave of juice. Like, see, I can read it like that, because it's explaining something. It's not like Asaga just say, I'm up. Like, it's like her talking about herself. It's like, oh. This is totally different from fapping. I mean, yeah. Asaga, I can't with you. I fucking can't. God damn it, mate. This is totally different from fapping. It's totally filling me up. The Captain's Vanguard, stop! These fucking jokes. Shields punish Asuka's... Wait, what? Yeah, Shields punish Asuka's mouth with another firm slap to the ass. That's enough out of you. But I can't help it. Feels so good, I might pee myself. That's not my fetish. Same, Kato, that's not my fetish. Don't you start that, Asaga. Don't you ruin this. Oh, god damn it. Shields ran Asuka, extending her passage and raised her chin. They locked mouths, madly tried to swallow each other's tongues. Asuka's scent flooded his senses, making Shields feel lightheaded. He felt pressure surge south. Shit, this is actually too good. If Asuka doesn't let go, I'm gonna blow too early. Asuka's taste filled his head with warmth and traveled down his neck and gathered at the base of his cannon rod. Now prepped for imminent action, my bad. Her modest but still laudable boob squeezed against his chest with each pound, her hard little tits tickling him. Their mouths finally separated, temporarily downgrading code red to code orange. At this rate, Her body flushed red as her thighs quivered. Asuka grasped and held Shields close as she unexpectedly came. Despite aggressively impatient bulging through his veins, Shield held his forces back. This was merely the prelude. Battles were decided by whoever lost their cool first and committed too early. Shields was not about to make such a rookie mistake. Can you keep going? Well, you... Stop messaging me! I'm reading porn! God damn it! Oh god, phone, fuck off! Anyways, do you... That's a fucking goading line. Don't message me, I'm reading porn! God damn it. Do you even have to ask that? Ain't it obvious? That's just a little accident anyway. There's still a big one lurking inside. Can feel it. Stop messaging me! Stop it! Oh, god damn it. Oh, Lord. Well then, better go deep and smoke it out. He rammed her as deep as he could reach, her ass overflowing between his fingers. He reached for one of her twin tails and buried his face in it. What are you doing? Sorry, but this twin tail man must get his fix. Okay, so I'm gonna have to stop you right there. Like, under normal circumstances, I would be fine with that, but considering Murray had twin tails, I'm a little worried about you. I'm a little worried about you, my boy! I'm a little worried! Just a little bit, slightly concerned. I don't know if that's just, you know, I mean, I could get down with some twin tails. Don't get me wrong, man. That's some cute and sexy shit, but... since Murray had them, I'm a little concerned why you're interested in them. I'm a little bit concerned. Anyways, sorry, this twin tail man must get his fix. What do you mean? That's your fetish? What the hell, man? Exactly. Twin tail BANZAI, god damn it. I can't even look at you anymore, Captain. Shields delivered another slap to her ass. That's what? Then what did you think was your charm point? My green eyes? I mean, they are very nice, I cannot lie.
I'm sorry, Asaga, but I'm pretty sure nobody else in the galaxy even noticed. I did! Fuck you, Kato! I did! I always noticed that! I thought her eyes were pretty! God damn it! I'm sorry, Asaga, but I'm pretty sure nobody else in the galaxy even noticed that. What's that face for? Seeing how you're still able to talk, how about this? Shields quickened his pace, slapping himself against her upper thighs. Asuka's face melted away into a mess of horny ecstasy. Looks more like pleasure. Repeat after me. I will kill you, Kato! Stop! This is just making this even harder to read! God damn it! Oh, fucking hell, mate. What am I supposed to say to this shit? Twin Tails BANZAI! Twin Tails BANZAI! Twin Tails BANZAI! Twin Tails BANZAI! God fucking damn it. At this point, Asuka was too messed up to even realize what she was saying. Was she higgling? Come on, creator, she could have gave me that face to enjoy! God damn it. Yes, Asuka noises. I feel, oh shit. And then explosions! Fucking hell. Power mounted in Shield's cannon. All systems were prepped for fire. Oh, Jesus, she awake! She fucking awakened! I'm gonna fucking die! Are you kidding me? She actually fucking awakened! I'm crying. I'm literally crying right now. Oh my god. I'm fucking done. This whole session has been one big fucking meme. I could not take anything in their whole session seriously. Oh my god. Dick, so good you awaken. Oh god, at that moment, Asuka's eyes lit with a bright azure light. Asuka wrapped herself around Shield so tight he thought he was going to be crushed. Shit, I guess I'm coming inside. Yeah, you are. It's too late. Oh boy. Yep, there it is. With a final heave, he pushed as deep as he could go, squeezing into her narrow channel. His weapon shot forth, loading Asuka's hole with more cream than it could hold. Great globs of sorted from her and floated in white orbs through the air. That's unsettling. What is that? It's like and then G-U-G-N. Like what the hell? She's still? Suddenly Asuka bit into his shoulder. Blue fire. Oh, there's the Hegel, I guess. It's an awakened Hegel. The blue fire faded from her eyes. Asuka's ass soaked with her spray and perspiration. Juice and drops of sweat floated through the room. That's unsettling. Her thighs trembled and her asshole twitched. Pleasure. Oh, this girl overdid it. That's the first time I actually awakened from I thought I was gonna die from pleasure. I can still... Asuka cringed as she came again, just from Shields removing himself. Oh, poured out of her entrance and floated away. That's unsettling. When the zero gravity's turned off, this is just gonna splat somewhere. That's just disgusting. They were now levitating upside down, their feet against the ceiling, orbs of their body fluids circling them. Truly a surreal scene, to be sure. Please nobody walk in. I'm cringing just from the thought of somebody walking in. Just don't. I mean, in retrospect, it's kind of a hot scene, like you're fucking zero gravity, but considering all the things that were said during this session, it's not anymore. Just let me stay like this for a while. Don't know if that's the end. What if it never stops? Wouldn't that be nice?
That's hardly a plus. I'll have to fly the blackjack with my I'll have to fly the blackjack with my face. Oh, nobody's ever gonna want to take me serious again. Crap, quite a mess down there. Yeah, quite a mess floating around as well. Asaga's hole was packed with an ugly batter of juice and blood. Well, at least they didn't show the blood. And that was only the beginning of the huge mess the two found themselves floating through. I better turn the cleaner drone on before restoring gravity, or else I'm gonna get splatter everywhere. Yeah! Yeah, it is! And that's disgusting! Anyway, Shields opened the storage locker and withdrew the drone. It buzzed around, dutifully cleaning up their mess. You weren't gonna force me to fly around and eat it all up?
Okay.
That's disgusting! Where the hell would you get an idea like that? Don't deny it, you know where.
Porn.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm against or denying it, but hey. God damn it, Asaga, stop! This is anime, so anything goes. Anyways, fucking hell. After the drone finished its work, Shields positioned himself under Asaga and returned the gravity to normal. He grabbed Asaga in his arms and everything dropped to the floor. Here we go. With a final slap on her ass, he sat her back up. Fight's not over yet. Still one more. Ah!
What? Something the matter?
Oh, crap. I totally forgot having sex right before the final battle. It's like an ultra mega death flag. Oh, what am I gonna do, Captain? I don't want to die. There's still lots of other positions I wanted to try. Oh,
that's your reason for living? Boy, I mean, even if this battle ends how we need it to, then we're all gonna die regardless, in a sense. We're gonna cease to exist. Boy, this is real life here, not some kind of mecha eroge. I'm sure you'll be fine.
I can still keep going, Captain. Maybe we should try another position first. Oh, God. Idiot, focus on the battle. Understood.
Oh, boy. So, did I get good end? This seems to be going good. Well, Shields had momentarily caught a respite thanks to his actions. He had no idea that his biggest crisis was still yet to come. Shortly after sending Asaga, he received summons to the bridge. He arrived to see the tense faces of the command crew. What happened? Chigara's escaped. We don't know how, but she managed to open her cell. And security? 8 Marines, all in serious condition, when a nearby conduit blew. Obviously not a coincidence. I've already got security turning the ship inside out to find her, but she somehow managed to manipulate all the cameras too. Took us a good half hour until we realized that all the footage was fake. Oh, we're up against a prototype here. Her brain's been artificially augmented to perform feats beyond our imagination. Her objective's got to be to escape. We need to disassemble the Liberty now. We've already placed it in lockdown. That won't be enough. Start by removing the fusion reactor and then take off all the limbs. Damn, we could have used it during the battle. I think we have to take it apart our own rider. Without a pilot, we actually still have the Havoc. Chigara could steal the Havoc if that comes into play. Cause Cassette and the Havoc are still here. So we may have a bigger issue on our hands. Without a pilot, there's no point in keeping it. We need to avoid the worst case scenario of having it used against us. Do what he says, Commander. You have authorization to remove the Liberty's reactor. Do it immediately. Sir! Just my tongue died. Just disassembling the Liberty won't be enough, though. She could escape on a shuttle or a light pod or any of the other riders. Still plenty of holes in the plan, huh? Ah! That scared me. Everyone's anxiety peaked when the ship's alarm went off. What now? Contacts! Red alert! Cease resupply operations and man battle stations. A pack loyalist fleet headed our way, approximately 300 strong. How did they get past the Alliance defensive line? We're getting reports of a single rider decimating their forces. The Combine fleet has split into two, allowing a pack strike fleet to pass through and approach the rear lines. A single pack rider. That can only be one thing, the fucking Nightmare Ascendant. Yep! Shields vividly remembered the grotesque power of the Nightmare Ascendant in their previous timeline. They had only just barely defeated it thanks to the power of the Combine Fleet and Fontana's forces, but this time the conditions of the battle were completely different. Instead of fighting in front of the lines with full support of the Alliance, they had now faced the Nightmare Ascendant in an ambush. Further, Fontana's fleet was still not operational. It's the Nightmare Ascendant, an ancient Ruvian rider now controlled by the leader of the prototypes. On top of its overwhelming firepower and defenses, the prototype's leader can somehow awaken, just like Asaga and Sola, making it highly invincible, nigh invincible. And you say you defeated it in your timeline? Yeah, but only with the help of the Combine Fleet and Fontana's allied forces. Sounds like you were playing it on easy mode when you went through this. How did you know? Well, technically, because I had to do certain things to do this game again, I played it on a different mode and got the achievement for it, so you're wrong past me. Technically, you're wrong this time around. Anyway, sounds like you were playing on easy mode when you went through this. The other shields turned towards the tactical map. We should have seen this ambush coming. With their spy on board the Sunrider exposed and Fontana on board onto their sabotage efforts, the prototype's best bet is to kill us before Fontana's ship enters into play. That means you've already thought of a plan, right? Unfortunately, our counterattacks are limited. The Sunrider hasn't completed its resupply, while the Liberty is out of commission, and even knowing the ambush was going to occur, our only option was to meet it head-on. The Combine Fleet is still tangled with a sizable remainder of packed ships. The Alliance will not be able to spare many ships to come to our aid. If we fall here, the packed strike fleet will completely rout in the resupply line, meaning the Combine Fleet will then face an attack from the rear with no fallback position. Put Fontana on the line, sir. Looks like Alice has made her move. We're still an hour away from removing the virus on our ships. You have to hold out until then. We don't have an hour, Fontana. I don't care if you leave your ships behind. Get your forces in order to assist with whatever you can muster. Very well. The sabotage is most extensive on our assault carriers. If we prioritize repairing the fast cruisers only, we should be by your side within 15 minutes. Alright, no choice. Do I have to fight? Because I don't want to. After Shields cut the channel with Fontana, Asaga's voice cracked through the comm. This is the Rider Squad standing by! Good. Bane Sorday, immediately. The map filling up with red all around us. Watch out for the new pack rider. Target designation Ascendant. It's lost technology. And its pilot can awaken just like you. What the? Suddenly the roaring rider thruster peaked the comm output. The blackjack's taking off without me! Oh shit! Ah shit, exactly! Close the hangar gate! Negative, if we use the emergency override, we won't be able to launch any other riders either. Shields tore himself from the tactical map and ran toward the hangar. Where are you going? No point in having two Kato shields on the bridge. I'm leaving the battle to you. You're the captain of this ship. I'm going to stop Chigara. Alright. Good luck, partner. Yeah, good luck. With that, Shields entered the lift and went down to deck 2. Oh boy. Shields entered the hangar to see the deck crew desperately trying to keep the blackjack from launching. They had somehow managed to attach the ceiling-mounted electromagnet clamp onto one of the shoulder particles, while the spare rifle jammed the launch rail. Shit, no, get back! The blackjack leaned down and fired its engine, sending the crew scattering in every direction. The hangar groaned as the ceiling structure holding the clamp slowly bent against the blackjack. Asaga arrived on a buggy. Captain, we got a situation! No kidding, come on, we've got to figure out a way to keep Chigara from escaping with your rider! The ship's flak guns echoed through the hangar. The ship shook as a missile impacted, sending Shields to the floor. Shit, as if it wasn't enough. Looks like the battle's begun. Oh god, Shields steel groaned overhead. Shields looked up just in time to see the steel supports holding clamps finally gave out. Watch out! He dived on top of Asaga as the steel concrete rained around them. Luckily, the debris fell short distance away, covering both them in dust, but not causing injuries. Where's Claude? Finally loose, the blackjack hit the thrusters and flew across the hangar. No, it's gonna get away! At the last second, the Paladin stepped out of its maintenance bay and blocked the exit. Hey, Kriska, halt! The blackjack stopped and drew its assault rifle. Though. No! He grabbed Asaga by the elbow and sprinted for cover. That's a new sprite. The blackjack unleashed a torrent of bullets inside the hangar, sending shrapnel ricocheting throughout the hangar. And lucky crewman took a brick-sized fragment to the shoulder, cleaving his foot long, opening down his chest, instantly killed. His body sprayed blood as it fell to the ground. Jesus Christ. Shield suppressed his nausea as shrapnel bounced all around him. Fool! The Paladin, unaffected by the small caliber fire thanks to its armor, shot toward and collided with the blackjack. The two steel behemoths struggled against each other like two enormous sumo wrestlers. The blackjack opened its missile pods. Oh! If it fires a missile at here, the whole ship's gonna blow! Just then the Phoenix shot forth, katana drawn. Oh god, I clicked outside the game. Hiya! The blackjack shot its reverse thrusters, narrowly avoiding getting cleaved in half. It spun its pulse gun into sword mode and activated its laser beam. Heh, never thought I'd be fighting the blackjack in the ship's hangar. The blackjack hit its wing thrusters, boosting forward. The Phoenix nimbly moved out of the way, sending the blackjack crashing into a maintenance bay. Shields braced his head against the cacophony of collapsing steel. The blackjack turned around and swiped its laser beam, but the Phoenix once again proved too fast, spinning out of its way. Sola, fucking sniper, please! Anyways, the place is too damn small. I can't use my assault guns either. Oh god. The Phoenix shot upward, skimming against the ceiling, and came down in a powerful helm crusher. The blackjack deflected the Phoenix katana with its back iron blade. The Phoenix ducked as the blackjack's beam sword slashed, literally cutting through another maintenance bay. Too slow! The beam sword still moving on its own momentum, and the black iron sword too heavy to raise in time. The Phoenix shot forward and deftly dug its sword into the blackjack's shoulder. Can't get enough momentum going in here. Not enough. Not to mention gravity's killing my speed. Shields grabbed the handheld microphone. Akari, the missile pods! Crap! Just as Akari realized the blackjack could destroy the entire ship at any moment, blackjack tumbled forward. Shields saw Bianca approaching, its gravity gun active. I've got this! Claude, pull the reactor out! Understood! Just then, Shields realized he had made a huge mistake. Wait a minute. And trust Claude with pulling out a highly explosive fusion reactor with a gravity gun? Before Shields could retract his order, sparks flew from the back of Blackjack. Its reactor was torn out. He squeezed his eyes shut and pressed himself on the floor, expecting the worst. Miraculously, when he slowly opened his eyes, the reactor was safely on the floor, and everyone was still alive. The flight crew flooded the hangar to contain the situation. With a breath of relief, he ran toward the now deactivated Blackjack as well. Alright everyone, don't open the cockpit until the security arrives. Put the reactor into cold sleep. Sir! Is the Blackjack alright? Looks like its arm is gonna have to be replaced with a spare, and it also needs a new reactor, but it's nothing we can't handle. Everyone else, you're needed outside. Sortie and protect the ship! Copy! With the most of the hangar destroyed, the remaining riders had no choice but to slowly fly out of the gate instead of using the linear rail. Meanwhile, the other cage of shields was caught in the middle of another life or death struggle. 3 packed battleships approaching. Torpedo lock detected. Shields looked at the tactical map. The bulk of the combined fleet was still tied up with the main packed fleet. Roughly hundreds of Alliance cruisers and 24 battleships were stationed at the resupply line, but more than half of them were already damaged the prior day and locked down and for repairs, or in the middle of resupply operations. Meanwhile, he was both hopelessly outnumbered and outgunned. Fire Vensel thrusters! The Sunrider shook as it descended, coming alongside a trio of Alliance cruisers. They won't be firing their main guns, but the flak guns should still be operational. Torpedoes incoming. 3. Move above. From above. I didn't say move. The Sunrider's flak burst around the ship, lighting a black void of space with millions of explosions. Come on. Come on. He exhaled when the flak guns on the cruisers activated, adding to the Sunrider's wall of fire. The nose of the forward torpedo fragmented as soon as it entered the flak shield and spun wildly before getting pulled apart by the G-force. 1 down. The second torpedo stubbornly continued through the vortex of explosions, sprayed with shrapnel, but not losing structural integrity. Sweat poured down Shield's forehead. All he could do was pray. Finally, the torpedo gave away the relentless assault of shrapnel, splintering into millions of shreds. But Shield's luck had run out. Final torpedo survived the flak and headed on direct course for the Sunrider Tower. All hands, brace for impact! Oh, that was Ava. Shields gripped the table as the bridge shook. Hit on deck 1. Fires reported in section 14. Lots of pressure in section 15. No damage to core systems. The packed battleships were too far away for the Sunrider to engage. Their missiles would be instantly shot down by flak, while their lasers were useless against the enemy's shields. Where are our riders? The linear rail is inoperative. They're still attempting to sortie. Just then the Phoenix shout out from the mouth of the ship. Sorry for being late. Had to walk out. The rest of the riders flew out one by one. What about the Blackjack? Temporary out of commission. Crews trying to put it back together as quick as they can. Outnumbered and now lacking both the Liberty and the Blackjack. Shields racked his head for a strategy. Power surge detected from enemy battleships. Crimson beams of light shot from the battleships, burning trails of fire across the hull of the Sunrider. Shields hung as the bridge swayed, his head groaning through the seal as the ship's structural lattice work melted away. Felt the Liberty's shields were toast. More lasers cut through the ship. A console burst, flinging a crewman to the ground with facial burns. Is this it? Is this the end? Just then, the space around the ships distorted as battle group of 50 packed cruisers emerged from warp. The daggers dropped down above the battleship and loose knit around after kinetic rounds. They divided toward the enemy, huge profile. Battleships attempted to return fire, but from the front, the fast cruisers were hardly larger than corvettes. The battleship's rounds shot past the fire, rained down from above. Shield sighed in relief as the battleships fragmented the relentless hailstorm of steel. My apologies for keeping you waiting, Shields. I never thought I'd be glad to see your face, Fontana. Now is not the time to jest. The situation is still dire. Without a moment's break, Ava turned to Shields. Captain, incoming enemy! It's the Nightmare Ascendant! Anyways, the Nightmare Ascendant appeared before the Sunrider, its wings proudly outstretched. So you're the enemy leader I've heard so much about. Shields, I have no idea how you managed to intercept our spy or discover the sabotage done to Fontana's ships, but all of that will be meaningless if you and the Alliance fleet are destroyed. All units, destroy the Sunrider! Attack! Oh boy. Some prototype units launched from the pack carriers. Contacts? Oh boy, it's that shit. That's gonna, like, skew all the ships. Ascendant's wings fire detached and dart toward the Sunrider. We'll hold the line here! The Phoenix opened fire and sprayed the flyers with assault rounds, but they were nimbly flew out of the Phoenix firing arc. Fast, little buggers! The two flyers circled around and shot Spear of Light. The Phoenix fired 2 of its wing thrusters, narrowly dodging the beam at a high corkscrew. Providence awaits. Sola's right eye ignited as she awakened. The movement of her drone suddenly slowed as Sola's senses as if they were swimming underwater. I like this little swimming thing. Anyways, focusing on her target, she lined up a shot and fed the Seraphim's rifle with the power. A flash later, Sola shot tore a hole through the drone's midsection before erupting into a fireball. Thanks! The other drone spun around and came at the Phoenix for another pass, but this time Akari was prepared. She stepped on the foot pedal, feeding maximum energy to the engines. The Phoenix shot forward, an intercept vector for the drone. Hey-ya! With near inhuman finesse, the Phoenix shot past the drone, katana drawn and sliced it from end to end. The rear of Kari's cockpit illuminated as the drone exploded behind her. 2 down! Before Kari could celebrate, the dark shadow stretched across her rider. Shit! She spun her out of the way seconds before the Ascendant descended upon the Phoenix and cleaved it apart with its great sword. That's one hell of a huge sword! The Ascendant swaggered toward the Phoenix, sword raised above its head. Oh boy. Akari barely managed to block the Ascendant's blade in time, despite its titanic size, and Ascendant's moved quick as a viper. That thing has 3 reactor cores. No matter how you look at it, I'm outmatched here. The Ascendants merely shoved the Phoenix out of the way. With another mighty downward strike, the Phoenix katana was shattered into a million pieces. Oh damn! Shit! Akari fired her wing thrusters in a panic, but her moment of carelessness allowed a drone to line up a shot. The beam tore through one of the Phoenix's wing thrusters, sending it spiraling out of control. Ah! Providing assistance, Sola raised down the shot, eyes aligned. Blue, she awakened, deflected the bullet with 2 swings of the greatsword. Impossible! Tip of the Ascendant particle gun glowed red as it let forth a scarlet lance, cutting into Seraphin's leg and slicing it apart. Its scanner dished. Sola, are you alright? Yes, but the Seraphim is no longer fit to fight. Returning to base. The Phoenix is the Phoenix is out too, Captain. Without a sword, I can't do anything out here. Yeah, I'll hold it back while you 2 escape. Just don't do anything crazy while I'm gone, soldier boy. Of course. The Paladin banged its rifle against the shield and moved in to cover the 2 riders' escape. Its rear cannons rotated forward and shots high density back in iron toward the Ascendant. Useless! The Ascendant fired one of its knee thrusters, corkscrewing toward the Paladin. The Paladin missile pods opened, sending a stream of smoke spiraling outward. The Ascendant nimbly dodged through the missiles which did impact, but nary a scratched on the Ascendant's rider's frame. Hiya! The moment the Bianca used its gravity gun to immobilize the Ascendant. Now! Thanks! The Paladin unloaded all of its munitions into the Ascendant at point-blank range. Smoke and fire enveloped the Ascendant. It received a volley after volley of cannon fire, a swarm of missiles, and even stream of assault rounds for good measure. It would seem too good to be true if the Ascendant went down so easily. Kriska's blood went cold when she sensed movement behind her. Alice licked her lips as the Ascendant struck from the Paladin's blind spot. Somehow it had managed to escape Bianca's gravity well and circled around behind the Paladin. I don't care who's playing what! Fuck off! Yeah, Paladin. Ah! The Paladin barely deflected the Ascendant's sword with its abbreviated shield. The Paladin's entire arm bent from the strike, sending sparks flying from its joints. Say goodnight. Just as the Ascendant was about to deliver a coup de grace, a crossguard of lasers and steel blocked the sword from reaching the Paladin. Hiya! So, the so-called Shah of Ruvia, sorry for being late, had to fit the Liberty's reactor into the Blackjack before it could move again. Asaga hit the reverse thrusters moments before the Ascendant overpowered its defenses. The Blackjack whirled out of the way. The Ascendant fired its particle guns. Its remaining drones swirled toward the Blackjack, like hounds onto prey. In a flurry of pulse bolts, Asaga took 2 more of the drones out, before ducking and weaving through the cobweb of lasers. Spinning in a wild dance, it shot a stream of particles from the shoulder guns, cutting through the 3rd drone. The tip of the particle guns began to char black and rapidly overheat. Crap, the Liberty's reactor is feeding way more power than usual. Shakara must have modified it to generate a lot more energy to power her EMC suit. All Blackjack's movements felt jerky. A wild bull, once false move could cause the Blackjack to spiral out of control, or worse, cause a thruster to burst. but for some reason Asaga's face broke into a wild grin. This power, I like it! She slammed down her foot pedals, sending the blackjack forward with explosive speed. Asaga clenched her teeth as she was plastered against her seat. Hiya! She shot forward the Nightmare Ascendant, her blade drawn. Ha, fool! The Ascendant raised its sword high and shot forward as well. Shield put his hands together in prayer as he saw the two streaks of light close in on each other on the bridge. Asaga! Please come back alive! I'll show you what a true shark can do! Ha! Your toy's nothing against the might of the Ascendant! Hiya! The two warriors burned with azure fire as they accelerated toward destiny. In an infinite instant, the two riders crossed each other, their swords moving quicker than what the universe could accept. A time continuum ripped as the swords tore through the universe's laws. Blackjack's joints gave out, causing explosions throughout the rider. Sparks of electricity ran through its frame. Oh, god damn it! No, my girl! Asuka's cockpit burst, impaling her with shrapnel. Blood dripped down her face. She looked down in disbelief to see the thin steel rod sticking out. Oh no! I got banned! Fuck! Oh god! I hit my mic. Oh god damn it! From her belly. Suddenly the pain struck her all at once. She collapsed in agony, her eyes losing focus. No way! I lost that quickly? The Ascendant approached the Blackjack and grabbed it by its head, completely untouched. Now do you understand, Princess? You will never become as powerful as I. For the truth of our power is that it feeds upon the dark emotions, twists and corrupts our minds, brings out the absolute evil lurking deep inside our hearts. Without hatred, you will never wield the power of the Shars. Without tasting the true horror of the blackest defeat, you have no place in war. Only when you are destroyed in mind and body, stripped naked and stomped on until every ember of hope has been extinguished, you truly hold the power of the Shars. Foolish girl, you sought to kill me? I have already died years ago. This woman is but an empty husk, kept alive by this monstrous machine called Ascendant. You're wrong! Asaga looked up, blood dripping down her mouth, the fire in her eyes extinguished. I learned something the past few days. Power brings arrogance. It makes you start thinking that you deserve to have stuff that doesn't belong to you. Twists up your insides whenever you get jealous. But you know, the true power isn't about getting things. You have all the love, wealth, and influence in the galaxy and still be weak. 'Cause power ain't about stuff you have. It's the stuff you can give that makes you powerful. Alice's eyes changed. She looked down coldly upon Asaga, like a disappointed matron about to punish her young daughter. Foolish girl. If you take this path, then all that awaits you will be a long, miserable death, as I found all those millennia ago. The throne of Ruvia will bring certain doom to the unprepared. Abandon all pretenses of hope and destroy your enemies before they destroy you. Wait, you're not... That moment, Alice stepped back to attention. Not again. I better end this quick before. I think it's time to say goodbye, Shar Ruvia. No! I'm afraid it's your loss. What? Have you lost your mind? No, because I managed to buy the captain enough time. Captain, the Combine fleet has broken through the Pack fleet. They're coming to assist. About time. Gray, you're fucking late. My girl got stabbed through the tummy. Fucking tummy. The stomach, my fucking hell. Anyways, you have my apologies for our late arrival, Captain. But thanks to their reinforcements not arriving, the enemy is running low on munitions. It will not be long until the tides turn to our favor. I have further good news. A fleet of Pack assault carriers appeared from behind Saren's moon. Thanks to your early warning, my engineers have now restored full control over our ships. My fleet is now back on the field. Yes! Shields pumped the air, unable to contain his joy.
His future self's gambit had worked. Even without Chigara's help, they had managed to restore Fontana's fleet.
Now I understand a certain rider has been giving you trouble.
I'm afraid so, Admiral. Not only that, but its pilot also is a spitting image of my ex-girlfriend. Kind of gives me the creeps.
Oh? Well, do hold back any unsightly tears as we tear or we end her. All ships open fire!
All head full. All ships open fire on the Nightmare Ascendant once you are in range. Ah! The Ascendant hit its thrusters, but renewed steam power was too thick to dodge.
Oh, careful, Asaga!
Bianca used a moment to shoot 2 coal cables to total Blackjack and fall back toward the Sunrider. Okay, good, so not bad end. Not bad end, good! I mean, I was aiming for bad end, but somehow got good end, maybe, or normal end? I don't know what this is.
Thanks, Doc. No worries.
Captain, our line of fire is now clear. On your word. No matter how many times, this never gets old. Fire the Vanguard cannon? Oh, hell yeah! Let's fucking do it! Oh, boy. Let's fucking do it! The Vanguard cannon is fully charged, Captain. On your word! Fire! Oh, boy. That thick damage! Oh, hell yeah! The Nightmare Ascendant was completely enveloped in the fire as ships struck it from every direction. With the unexpected entry of Fontana's fleet, the tides of battle had reserved everywhere around Alice. Her ships lit on fire and broke apart against the onslaught of Fontana's assault carriers and advanced riders. At this rate, they would be completely annihilated. This wasn't how I planned this! How was I foiled? How did that fool shield see through my sister's spy? He was completely under our control! Wait, his actions are not consistent. Could he have had assistance from some outside meddler? The Wanderer, so you have betrayed us! That means I may yet win! With the remaining energy remaining, the Ascendant's Alice spun her rider around. Captain, it's the Ascendant! What the? The flaming hunk of Ascendant emerged from the Vanguard beam and shot toward the Sunrider. It's on a collision course for the ship! Fire! The Sunrider unloaded everything in its arsenal against the flaming comet, streaked toward the ship, but it was too late. All hands, brace for impact! Ava threw herself on top of shields as the two pressed themselves against the ground, as the entire ship tumbled from the force of the collision. The hull around the bridge bent, sparks exploding from every direction as its power cord snapped. Vapor shot out and covered the bridge as pipes shattered from the force of the impact. Oh, Jesus. Instruments hidden inside the walls blew in fireballs, sending wall panels flying. The crew burst open in emergency lockers and grabbed the fire extinguishers to combat the flames. Report! The Nightmare Ascendant has crashed near engineering. All systems are catastrophically damaged. The reactor's core's cooling systems have been deployed. If we do not restore the auxiliary system within 10 minutes, we will have a full-scale meltdown on our hands. Order engineering to fix the reactor double time. Unfortunately, we have lost all contact with engineering. Shit. Captain, intruder alert. What? Is it fucking what's-her-face? Alice? Did she jump ship? Security footage of the Ascendant's cockpit opening and Alice entering the twisted hull of the ship inside environmental suit appeared on the main screen. Shit, she's headed straight for engineering. Alert, security, stop her! Sir! Meanwhile, the future Catal shields pushed through the burning corridor to get to engineering. The injured and dead were strewn throughout the floor, but he had no choice but to march on and complete his mission. If the prototype gets to our reactor core, then it's game over. He finally arrived at the burning engineering hall. Vapor steamed out over a dozen broken pipes, and flames licked the walls. At his feet were bullet-ridden bodies of half a dozen Marines. Shit, I was too late! He ducked and covered seconds before a stream of bullets riddled his position. Alice's voice echoed through engineering. You're too late, Shields! Once the reactor melts down, you will die. And with that, this timeline shall revert to its original chronology. Not really.
I wasn't supposed to die. I don't know how you got to the Wanderer to help you, but even she is not infallible. Just as I thwarted her plans in your timeline, I shall thwart her in this, thwart her here yet again. Surrender, Prototype. You should know that if you die, the original timeline is restored. This is for your own good, too. Death means nothing to a walking corpse such as I. Alice opened fire once more, pinning Shields down. Damn. He drew his pistol, gauging from the sound of her weapon. Shields summarized that she commandeered one of the Marines' rifles. In other words, he was outmatched in terms of firepower. But she's still wearing nothing but her plug suit. All it takes is one good shot to bring her down. Now, if only I could figure out where she's hiding. Shields kept talking, trying to use the Prototype's voice to discern her position. Your fleet's defeated and Fontana has control of the pack now. What do you gain by triggering a total war between the Alliance and Fontana's forces? All that happens is the destruction of all that you worked for. All that I've worked for? Do not think for a moment I had any notions of ruling the galaxy as Venice or Empress, or some other meaningless title. I have no intention of raising you worms from your wretched existence. All I sought was the doom of your species. Good, keep talking. She's over there. Shields popped up from cover and unloaded his pistol into the shadow catwalk. Sparks flew as the nearby damage support fell apart, bringing the elevator crashing down into a slope. Ah! Alice rode a collapsed catwalk, losing her grasp on the rifle. Shields used the opportunity to charge her position. He aimed the pistol and pulled the trigger, but received a feeble click out of ammo. In infuriation, he tossed the pistol aside and bull rushed into Alice just as she got back to her feet. Unexpectedly, exhilarating pain shot down his spine. Ah! He ran headfirst into what felt like steel. He looked just in time to see an energy barrier flicker in front of Alice. Shields mustered his strength to deliver a round of punches into Alice's chest, but his fist bounced off the energy field surrounding Alice. With a single backhand, Alice knocked Shields down to the floor, delivering an explosive blue sparks to his jaw. Shields spat blood from his mouth. Oh no, I didn't mean to click. Did you think I would come here without a personal shield? Alice stepped on his prone body. Sparks of energy shot from her heel as it dug into Shields' rib. Ah! Oh god, I had to hiccup. Ah! Shields could only howl hopelessly as his flesh seared off. He desperately looked to the Sunrider's reactor. Steam was pouring from its sides as the remaining coolant rapidly evaporated. If he did not defeat Alice within minutes, the reactor would melt down and completely destroy the entire ship. I won't kill you yet, Shields. I want you to be there with me when the ship reactor finally blows. We'll die together, you and I. The reactor's side panel burst in an explosion of vapor, ruffling Alice's hair. How long have I waited for this moment to finally sink into the black void of death? I know I shall never see him where I'm headed, but I know that I, Alice Asaga, will save the galaxy from humanity. Like a festering nest of roaches, humanity will breed until it has consumed the galaxy. Then you will eat each other until nations fall and civilizations end. Humanity is but a sea of moaning naked bodies, wretched and poor. When one dares to rise above the crowd to bring about everyone's salvation, it will not be the rich and powerful in their ivory towers who bring about the hero's downfall, but the very masses the hero sought to liberate. For the wretched cannot bear to see one of them rising above them, for that only reminds them that they are pitiful, pathetic scum. They will rather keep festering in their holes than be saved. One day you too shall be betrayed, Shields, by the very galaxy you sought to protect. Jesus Christ, that was a yawn. No! Even then, heroes must be born! The masses may turn against us, but with that crowd, there will always be ones who will cheer us on. When this happens, with final reserve of his strength, Shields delivered a kick to Alice's gut, knocking her off balance. He shoved her off and rolled to his feet. Alice drew her saber and came at him. Shields, you must have a death wish! Before she could reach him, bullets impacted against Alice's energy barrier. Oh, Asuga, you're okay, good. Captain! Asuga ran into engineering with a rifle and slung around her neck. Alice sheathed the saber and picked up her rifle. Asuga's eyes ignited as she sprayed Alice with more rounds before diving behind the console. Sparks sprayed from the console as Alice riddled with the bullets. Oh god. Hiya! Shields picked himself up and grabbed Alice's rifle, giving Asuga a chance to circle around behind her. Alice kicked Shields away and pointed his rifle. I think that's a miss. Alice kicked Shields away and pointed his rifle at him. Don't you mean her rifle? But received a renewed spray of bullets from the rear. Her energy shield began to flicker as it crumbled away against Asuga's assault. Get out of there, Captain. You can't do anything against that shield. Shields nodded and scrambled away while Alice was distracted by the withering stream of lead flying toward her. He desperately scavenged the bodies of the downed Marines for weapons. Need a heavy explosive. Grenade? Unfortunately, he was going to find no such assistance in engineering, where security was excessively banned from using explosives. The klaxon sounded above as the last of the reactor's coolant vaporized sweat-drenched his uniform. The reactor heated to critical levels. Shit, forget that. The reactor's priority here. While Shields scrambled for the reactor, Asuga popped out of cover and pulled the trigger. The rifle merely clicked. Alice steered and tossed away her empty rifle as well. She drew her saber and held it in front of her. The two women circled each other. She's not awakening. Does that mean she's out of energy, or is it a trap? Hiya! Asuga charged for Alice, her eyes flaming blue fire. Alice swiped her blade laterally, but Asuga deftly ducked under the blade before Asuga could grapple Alice. Alice spun backwards and brought her sword down again. Oh god. Once again, Asuga dodged with her superhuman speed, the tip of the sword cutting a tear down the shoulder of her plug suit. Asuga jumped to the left as Alice jabbed the saber forward. However, this time, Alice was prepared. She delivered a kick to Asuga's gut, where she had previously been impaled with a rod, sending her spinning across the room. She had fallen for Alice's trap. Despite human abilities, Asuga was still a neophyte when close quarters combat was concerned, no matter for war veterans such as Alice. Asuga could barely clamber her knees when Alice delivered another crushing kick to her neck. Blood dripped out her mouth as her diaphragm collapsed. She could only gag in rage and gasp as Alice pulled her up by her hair. In the end, you were merely a girl. Shields brought down a pipe ball on Alice's head, sending her saber clattering to the floor. We really gotta cut down on the speeches! The pipe crushed against the energy shield, sending feedback jolting through his arm, but Shields mustered his strength. He wrapped himself around Alice, putting her into a sleeper hold as her energy barrier shattered through his uniform, sheared through his uniform and flesh. Oh god, I clicked out. I've been so into this. I've been kind of like staring. The two of them struggled as Shields dragged her toward the flaming hot core's reactor. You! Shields squeezed his eyes shut, and he would drop Alice into reactor shaft even after he had fall off with her himself. This would be the only way he could defeat Alice and save the future. If his life was the price to pay to save everyone, he would gladly sacrifice himself. Once this is all over, the timeline's going to be fixed anyway. I'll just return to being a ship's captain. It's no big loss. Behind him, Asuga raised her hand and gasped desperately as Shields lifted Alice off her feet. I'm sorry, Asaga, but I'll see you in the next universe. Ah! The reactor burst into a column, blue flame behind them. The other outer panels melted away in the extreme heat. This would be their funeral prey. The two of them arrived at the edge of the shaft. Beyond the safety rail was a sheer drop into the furnace of hellfire. Shields! Oh, that was more Fontana. He gritted his teeth and took another step forward into the sea of fire. his arms wrapped around Alice. This would be the end. Sorry about this, but... Suddenly, excruciating pain cut through his back. Shields dropped to his knees in disbelief. What? You piece of shit! Oh, god damn it! I was expecting that! Fuck! Oh, god damn it! Oh, god damn it! Ah! Fuck! Ah! I fucking expected it. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew she would come out of the... You bitch! Ah! God damn it! Ah! His consciousness began to slip away as he realized there was now a combat dagger stuck in his back. No, Gara! Alice roared triumphantly. Have won, Shields! She pounded her chest. Even in this universe, my doll proved your undoing. Ironic, is it not? For you have come so far and accomplished so much, only to fall in the same manner. Shields collapsed to the floor when Shigara violently pulled the dagger from his back, tearing out a muscle and blood. He saw Chigara's empty face hover above him. That's not Chigara's face. She used to smile so gently. Now my doll, kill him. Chigara. A wicked grin slashed apart Chigara's face as she thrusted the dagger downward. Shields opened his eyes and realized that Chigara's other arm had stopped holding the dagger from penetrating his chest. But a flicker, of ludicity returned to her eyes. Now's your chance! Get her, Captain! Shields tore the dagger from Chigara's hand and dug it into Alice's gut with all his might. Electricity surged through his entire body as the dagger cut into her shield. At last, the barrier shattered in pieces. Gah! Alice's face froze in shock as Shields repeatedly jabbed the dagger into her belly, forming dozens of new slots into her womb. I think it's time you died a second time! With that, he kicked her down the Sunrider's reactor shaft. For a second, Alice floated in midair. At last, this nightmare ends. Arcadius, if only we could have died together. The second passed, and Alice fell down the shaft. Chigara covered Shield's body as Alice's body erupted in an enormous pillar of fire. The stench of burning flesh filled the room. Chigara, the reactor! Understood! Chigara scrambled to the controls and fearlessly input the commands. Steams of foam shot from every direction, lathering the reactor in coolant. The flames around the reactor hissed and eventually fizzled out. Oh Jesus, we did it. With a long sigh of relief, Chigara collapsed on the floor. Shields crawled over to Asaga despite being covered in thousands of wounds, and covered in wounds. She nodded and gave a thumbs up. Asaga! He wrapped his arms around her. We did it! Just then, Old Claw burst into the engineering escort with the ship security. Oh, Captain! Despite their injuries, the two of them struggled to their feet. With a grin, their bodies stained faces, Shields and Asaga waved. Soon they were both on stretchers, while the ship's security detained Chigara, who had already surrendered peacefully. With Alice dead and Chigara never having entered the mind stream, there was no risk of Alice's ghost ever asserting control over her again. Really? I mean, how did she get control over her just now? The crew rushed to contain the damage in the engineering as Shields was ferried toward the sickbay. Between the moving bodies of the crew, he saw a familiar lock of pink hair. Looks like you pulled it off, Captain. A second Claude watched the events unfold from the shadows. I guess this is the end. If you ever need me, you know where to find me. But a blink later, she completely vanished from the universe. Shields closed his eyes. The past had been rewritten. The future had been saved. The Liberation Day massacre was averted. The world began to fade to white as the law of causality reconfigured the universe based on what he had accomplished. In the universe which will be created, the Sunrider would emerge triumphant during the Battle of Sarah. Chigara, the prototype spy, would be apprehended safely, and Shields would have prevented an intergalactic war between the Alliance and Pact. Not bad for a day's work, but next time let's try to get it right for the first time around. Oh. I don't know what I'm doing. That's it, I guess. Oh, we can skip it. So, what ending was that? Was that... Oh. Oh. Shields knelt before Murray's grave. At long last, he had put her soul to rest up in that mountain of their childhood. Its soulless shrine. Beside him, Ava laid a bouquet of flowers next to a headstone, marking her final resting place. Murray, I'm sorry. You were so proud to hear I'd finally become captain. You told all your friends I would protect Sarah the instant you found out. But I let you down. I let everyone down. Ever since that day, I swore to myself I would come back here, that I will take back what we lost that day. And so after many trials, here I am, finally home.
Kaito,
Ray put her hand on his shoulder.
you never had to blame yourself.
Upon hearing her voice, tears dripped down his eyes.
Ever since you told me you were going to follow Avi, I knew you could do it. I knew you could become the biggest space captain there ever was, and win against the impossible odds. I'm not sad I came to see you off that day. Even though I would still be alive, I wouldn't be able to call myself your sister if I'd missed a thing like that. Don't worry about me. Now, I can watch over you from this mountain. No matter where you go, I'll look up to the night sky and find you somewhere amongst the stars. I know you will always be the mightiest captain who ever lived, who will defeat the biggest villains and save the galaxy over and over because... You're my big brother, Kaito. You can do anything. You never let me down, not even once.
Ray. Shields gripped his fist and sobbing into her grave. I swear I'll never betray your trust. For as long as I live, I'll defend everyone. No matter what may face me. No matter the odds, I'll fight on. So that I can return here and keep you company. I'll tell you stories of adventures, of narrow escapes and victories snatched from the jaws of defeat. You'll be on edge at your seat each time. Murray, your brother's going to keep fighting. Sarah's not safe yet. There's still more work to do. I'm not ready to quit being Captain Kaito Shields, not yet. I'm going to return to space, and this time, I'll be leaving you here.
I'll keep watch from this mountain. Good luck, Kaito, and have a safe trip.
Yeah, of course. Nobody's going to take down your big brother. With that, Murray's apparition slowly faded away. Oh, the ghost of my little sister in Academy holds more weight now. That hurts more now. God damn it. She wrapped her arms around Kaito's head.
I love my big brother. Keep us all safe, okay?
Yeah, it's a promise. Ray vanished into the fall wind. The leaves in the forest rustled as her spirit echoed throughout the mountain before finally dispersing into the great beyond. Instead of lamenting her final disappearance, she had stood with a tear-soaked grin. I'll be back, Murray. Kaito, are you okay? Or are you ready? I assumed that line. Yeah, how things go on your end? My father always was a man of few words. I'm sure he would merely nod and accept my return if he was still alive. But perhaps deep underneath his cool and rational exterior, he would be pleased to see me return alive, my mission a success. I may even venture as to say he might feel a tinge of pride in his old heart. I'm making an idiot of myself now. No. You take after him in many ways. I can tell your smile right now, he would definitely be overjoyed as well.
I must have gone soft, no thanks to your influence. Well, never hurts to smile every now and then. Heard it helps offset the effects of aging. Captain? From the mountain, they could see more that most of Sarah was still an enormous crater. The Legion's attack had bore a scar into the beautiful city, one that they may never forget. Reconstruction efforts were already underway. The Alliance had already brought money, workers, and resources to restore the city, while Fontana likewise pledged to make amends for Pact's wanton actions. Shields looked to the remain. I question something. If I do this again, will the story change, or will it be the same events just with that person? Because if so, that's kind of lackluster and really fucking dull. I mean, I'm pretty sure that, like, when I was reading about this, like, it said that this was made because people complained about the ending. That's why there was no voice acting in the ending before, because that was all added in. Like, I mean, I'm not saying I expect a lot more, but I'm just saying, like, if, like, say we do Akari next, like, I hope they'd have their own special interactions and stuff like that, and not, like, the same Hangar, then kidnap Chigara, and then yada yada, that kind of thing, because, like, you know, they're different people, but I don't know, we'll see. Shields looked at the remains of the city he once called home. There was still work to do, but for the first time in his life, he felt victorious. Not a fleeting sense of accomplishment after winning a small skirmish, but an overwhelming sense of having won something important. I mean, if they have good, bad, and normal endings, I'd have to assume their stories have to be different. Because if it's just the same thing, then that's kind of boring. I probably might just, if that's a thing, then I might just skip to the main parts of their stories, because what's the point of doing all this over again if nothing changes? Anyways, it resounded through his entire body, giving him strength. With that, the two of them hiked back down the mountain. The sun set over Sarah National Park. The Liberation Day celebration had just ended. It was a grand affair where Admiral Grey took to the stage to commend the fighting spirits of Sarah's only surviving assault carrier and present Katel Shields with the Ferelden Cross. I guess there was parades, a full orchestra, as well as enough Alliance and Pact dignitaries to last a lifetime. In reality, Katel Shields did not care too much about receiving honors or trying to find influence by befriending powerful Alliance figures. Instead, his only thoughts were about Asaga! Oh, there you are, Captain. My congratulations on your medal. You mean this thing? You want to bite into it later? That's your precious award, Captain. I couldn't. Or maybe you'll be biting into me later. So wait, so we that's still canon? We fucked and she bit me? That can be arranged. I mean, I'm not against it. Anyways, despite the old universe being destroyed, Asuka and Shield's feelings for each other remained. That's good. Not even the end of the universe could change the feelings Asuka had for her captain. From the moment they met, Asuka had been the defender of the Sunrider and the ace of the Rider Wing. Asuka put her arms around Shields. So the evil empire is defeated. Our home worlds are liberated. What's next? Shields looked up. We're not done yet. According to the intel we've got from Lynn, there's still a prototype greater than the one we killed. We can't rest until she's been defeated as well. I'm going to stay on board the Sunrider. I've already told the Council that they can rule Ruvia Prime in the interim right now, so there's another battle waiting for me. In the end, that's the duty of the Shar, to defend Ruvia from all threats. Anyways, it's obvious I'm going to accomplish a lot more inside a rider than on a cushy old throne, at least. I'll always protect you, Captain, until the day we finally restored peace to the galaxy. Shield smiled and stroked Asuka's head. Yeah, you and I together. The next big bad better be shaking in their boots, because we've got the hero of justice right here. Captain, you're not taking me seriously. Oh, are you? You go and make me into a woman, but still have the gall to treat me like a kid. You better take responsibility and look at only me from now on.
Understood. Shield saluted.
Huh. Oh well. Captain, let's kick some ass together, alright?
Wait. Yeah, I thought I said that wrong. Yeah. All for one?
And one for all!
Shields put his hand on Asaga's cheek. He brought her face to his and they locked their lips together. You're not gonna fuck in the park, are you? As the two of them kissed, the first stars of the coming night shone in the pink navy blue sky. Many unresolved questions still lingered in Asaga's heart. One day she would have to return to Ruvia Prime and finally accept her position as queen. When that day came, would her relationship with Shields be allowed to continue, or will she be caught in a new game of political intrigue? What was the truth of her powers, and why did the prototypes view her with such interest? Lynn's words echoed Asaga's heart. One day she would wield the Shellac and conquer the known galaxy. Asaga had no idea whether Lynn was merely trying to toy with her mind or if she had spoken the truth. Such prophecy seemed plausible, as the Shellacs had been destroyed millennia past, and Ruvia was now but a minor backwater planet. Asaga closed these questions away and put them aside for another day. In the meantime, she was more than content to be at Shield's side, fighting alongside him to protect the galaxy. So good, bad, normal? What end is this? 1 month later. This is still going! I thought this was the end! After a much-deserved period of R&R, Shields finally returned to his trustworthy ship. While his days on Sierra went by in a flash, what happened to Cassette? I just remembered looking at the cells. Technically, she still should be with us. Could not rest easily until he had returned to what had become his new home. Why can we not dig Cassette? Anyways, goddammit. And on top of that, Shields had managed to transfer a certain prisoner to his ship, obstinately for field counterintelligence purposes. He pressed the intercom and spoke with Chigara.
Captain.
Chigara? Sorry about the small cell. We're actually trying to build you a better one as we speak. For now, please bear with it.
Don't worry, it doesn't bother me at all. In fact, it's Chigara who's sorry for everything. I know you have no reason to believe me, and I don't expect you to ever forgive me for what I've done, but I never knew myself that the prototypes had planted me on board the ship. All this time I thought I was the sole survivor of the Iode catastrophe, and that I was the ship's chief engineer, but it looks like I was fooled too, wasn't I? Chigara was just a fool all this time, playing right into the prototype's plan. I wouldn't be surprised if the captain hates me now.
No. You're just a victim in this too, Chigara. You never knew what the prototypes were planning either. You were just an unwitting pawn. Honestly, I'd be damn glad to have you as the ship's chief again. But as long as the Alpha prototype still lives, she can assume control of your body, so we can't let you out. Not yet. Not until we finally found the Alpha and destroyed her. Then you'll finally be free again. I promise I'll get you out of that cell, Chigara, and make sure the prototypes never take control of your body ever again. You have my word.
I see the captain certainly has not lost his touch. Chigara's happy to hear that. But please do not make Asaga too jealous, okay?
Huh?
In the end, I hurt you, Captain. I don't mind you finding someone else. As long as the captain pays her some visits from time to time, okay?
Yeah. Let me know if you need anything. Oh, she's willing to give me up. That's noble. I salute you, Chigara.
Understood.
We're gonna fuck, cause I'd rather just end it. Like, as nice as that is, Shields entered his old office. He spent countless hours here, agonizing over plans to lead one ship war against Pact and liberate Sarah. After every victory, he felt as if he stood atop of the world. He had somehow won against an overwhelming enemy. While some nights the weight of commanding the ship crushed down his back, he would realize the futility of his mission and despair. He would most likely never survive to see a liberated Sarah. Now that his mission had been accomplished, he felt surreal walking through the memories he had of this ship. Is that the Nightmare Ascendant? I got the Nightmare Ascendant back there now. God damn it. I think that's it. It looks like it. His thoughts were interrupted by an unexpected noise. Oh, fucking hell. Chief Admiral, what? What the? Someone had placed a basket beside his desk. A dog popped its head out from the top and panted friendly at Shields. Well, who do we have here? Ah, Ava, hi. Okay, good. I thought I was gonna be Asaga and I thought we were gonna fuck. I was about to say, can we just end this kind of calmly? We fucked once, that's enough. If on cue, Ava slipped inside the office. Ahem. Hey, Ava. Are you the one behind this? Indeed, Captain. She straightened herself. In light of our recent events, I thought animal companionship may help your nerves smooth during the next voyage. As such, I've arranged for the transfer of, K9 unit to serve on board the ship. Well, you definitely know me too well. In fact, I used to have a dog which looked just like him. Do you remember? I recall him quite well. I hope the protege proves as reliable as Fleet Admiral. Well, hell. Hardly a day on board the ship, and the damn mutt already outranks me. Shields shook his head and delivered a salute to his new pet. Captain Kato Shields, at your service, Admiral. The Admiral scratched behind his ear and turned to Ava. Well then, Commander, shall we get underway? How much more is there? Shields and Ava, I don't mean to sound like, but like, we're reaching that 2-hour point already, pretty much, so I'm just like, how much more do we have? Shields and Ava strode into the bridge of the Sunrider. What's the situation? 3 days ago, Pack Forces raided the Alpha Prototype's cloning facility at the Iode, but then it was already abandoned. Her current whereabouts are unknown. Our primary objective is to capture or destruction the final leader of the prototypes. Not only that, but we need it for an urgent mission from the Alliance. Entire colonies have begun to vanish near the Menemosa Abyss. We are to join a Combine Pack fleet, a Combine Alliance Pack investigatory fleet, and find out what's going on. I know this plot line. Obviously, an alien race from another galaxy intends on destroying all of humanity before we get too powerful and destroy ourselves or something. Captain, please refrain from unnecessary speculation. Besides, that idea makes no sense whatsoever. Most likely it's pirates raiding colonies and nothing more. Ava, when will you ever learn? Wherever the Sunrider goes, there will never be a dull mission. Ava face-bombed. Unbelievable. Get us underway, Commander. Understood. Helmsman, 1/10 impulse. Ease out of port. Shields took one last look at Sarah on the main screen. This was the home he had liberated with his own hands. No, not merely by his hands. He had help from men and women across the galaxy in accomplishing his mission. No matter how difficult their next voyage, he swore he would come back to see it again. We are to test our systems by launching all our riders and making one lap around the moon before entering warp, just like the beginning. Sound good, girls? Blackjack, ready to go! Let's get this out of the way. Sir, it is my privilege to continue to serve on your alliance as liaison officer. Standing by. Captain, you can order me to do anything. Man, I say we should have hired Cassette. Anyways, Liberty is standing by. A female voice he had never heard before sounded through the comm. Huh? What's that? Captain, command has transferred a new pilot to our wing. That Chigara is, I fucked that line. Captain, command has transferred a new pilot to our wing. Now that Chigara is our prisoner. Not only that, but she will serve as the ship's new chief engineer going forward. Oh? Do we get to see her, or is she just a random person? All this should have been on the report I left on your desk a week ago. Ava stared daggers into Shield's face. I must have missed that. Meanwhile, in the hangar, the new girl's voice sounded through Asaga's comm. It's my greatest honor to serve under the world-famous Sunrider Valkyrie Squadron. While I am still inexperienced, please take good care of me. Huh? I never knew we had a nickname like that. It fits though, doesn't it? Alright, alright, Rook, first things first. The captain's already taken, so give up your dreams of becoming his sweetheart. Excuse me, I never... Precisely at that moment, the linear rail activating the fling of the Liberty out of the hangar. Ah! Welcome aboard the team. Oh god. Captain, all your riders have launched. Shield stood in the front of the bridge, his eyes gazing the vast sea of stars before him. Who knew what adventures awaited him out there? The Sunrider proudly sailed out of Sarah, her riders flying in front of her. While Shields had given it all, his all to return home, he knew his destiny lied among the stars, fighting against the impossible odds to save the galaxy from every manner of doom. As long as villains existed, in the galaxy, Shields and his girls would fight to stop them. He grinned. Set course for our greatest adventure yet! Yay! Asaga's happy ending! You happy Asaga end, our greatest adventure. Oh hell yeah, I did it. Anyways, I fucking did it. But now we'll tackle things like this is how it's gonna go. I'm gonna try to aim for everyone's happy ending. And then in an extras episode, we'll get everyone's bad, good, and whatever ending. You know, we'll skip around into the parts that are important and shoot through everyone's neutral. Like, I'll look up a guide at that point after we've gotten everyone's. So hopefully we can one-shot and get everyone's happy ending. But if not, then, you know, if we do, then we'll follow a guide and try to get everyone's bad and good ending and see how that fares. But anyways, thank you all for watching. If you like this, hit the thumbs up button, save it to your favorites, also share with your friends. This has been Conixis. You can follow me on Twitter. Link is in the description below. Thank you all for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you all. Well, actually, if you're still sticking around, throw in the comments who you want to be next. Will it be Sola, Ava, Akari, and I think that's it. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Sola, Ava, or Akari. I think it's those four. I'm pretty positive. I don't know. But anyways, I don't remember. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I love you all. I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.